Greetings, everybody, and welcome back to the Ashes of Creation discussion round, the longest running podcast for Ashes of Creation. And I hope everybody's doing well. And today we're gonna have words with Yoni, because Yoni has something he wants to talk about, and he prepared us mentally and emotionally for it.
Are we starting off with that?
I think we're starting off with that.
Are we starting out with cosmetics?
That's what he's making it sound like we're starting it off with.
I don't even know what it is. You just said you have words. I'm like, okay, cool. I kind of like the sound of that, so let's start with it.
All right, starting off with cosmetics. The new October cosmetic. What? Go ahead.
Should we just go through them normally and then wait, and then you express your words when we get to the specific one?
Yep. Starting off with cosmetics, the new October cosmetics out. They're looking good. I will say that. They're looking really good. First one, Cloak of the Broken Pact. Looking real good. It looks really good. It's just a white cloak with a phoenix on it, but it's tattered. It's got the bloody slash across the back. What are you guys' opinions on it?
Yeah, I think that's it. It's not really.
We're talking about the yellow ones, right?
Yeah, the yellow ones. It's the ones with the yellow background.
I feel like. So which ones? We're talking about the armor first.
The cloak.
No, cloak's the first one on the list.
We're going to just down the page.
Yeah, we're going down the list.
I mean, I feel like we're doing this every month now. Like one episode is dedicated for this, but we're always saying the same thing. I mean, it looks pretty good, concept art wise.
Yes.
Usually they deliver. Yeah, it looks good. I'll be interested to see how it looks in game, with it being all cloth and stuff.
Going to the pet, I have heard complain. I actually quite like it, even though it's a construct pet. But I have heard some people they're either freaked out by it or they have problems with how it looks. But people still think it looks good, but it's people are getting freaked out by it or something like that. I haven't.
What do you mean freaked out? Like people don't like the idea of construct pets? Or...
No, it's just a creepy little gargoyle.
Is that because it has big round eyes?
I don't know. Plus, it's got those little flap things going across his chest.
Oh, it looks like almost flabs of skin or something?
I guess so.
Yeah. It's a little odd. Yeah, I think it looks like a solid little gargoyle bro.
I mean, which ones are we talking about now? You guys already changed. Sorry, I just checked.
No,
we're down to the ruined gargoyle.
Yeah, we're having some interface issues, so I do apologize. The which one?
The one down. It was the gargoyle. Up, you go up.
The pet thing.
Yeah, the pet.
I mean, yeah, it looks cool. Honestly, I don't know what else to say about cosmetics at this point.
You don't have an opinion on them?
No, I mean, I have to. I mean, it's the same opinion I had for the past 4 years. Yes, the concept art is dope.
That is fair.
The 3D render, I have to see the 3D render, because as we know, 3D rendering most of the time is gonna change people's opinions. And thirdly, there's gonna be doper things in the game for us to get. So, yeah, I already have that many cosmetics. I think I don't know why I would buy any more at this point. I'm hoping that they might rework some, but when it comes to this one, I kind of I like it. I dig it.
Cashkush really wants to see how the pet moves. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be interesting. Is it going to fly? Is it going to crawl? Is it going to hop?
Yeah, is it going to stay mostly like a statue and just kind of levitate there, or is it actually...
I would not want that. I would not want that one bit.
Yeah, I mean, the cracks make me think that it moves like a stone creature.
Yeah.
Okay. Graveyard Golem?
The Graveyard Golem. I think it looks good. I like the Graveyard Golem. The only thing I want to talk about is, how do you guys feel about the fact that this is the same? We know they use similar. We know they use same skeletons and stuff like that. Make this faster, yada yada yada. Well, not faster, but like they use same skeletons just for like a bunch of reasons.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel like this is the same skeleton they used just 2 months ago? Like, so
I'm fine with that.
Using the same skeleton so close to each other.
They were doing that for a lot of the cosmetics for a while now. It just like it was ones that had been. If they make a new skeleton, I want to see them make new stuff with it. It'd be sad if they made a new skeleton and then we waited a year for them to make something else with it. We have plenty of horses and cats and stuff.
Yeah. I'm just saying that using like they're obviously going to use the same skeleton multiple times. And we've seen it multiple times. We've seen several lizards. We've seen people like several turtles, bears, horses, as Staggerson said. But even with all of those, they haven't been so close together. Like this is literally like.
Honestly, it doesn't bother me one bit. I mean, look at World of Warcraft. They barely bring out new skeletons for their mounts. It's most of the time it's just rehash, color, add a couple things, and be done with it.
Okay.
I also think that I really like the theme of this one.
I did too.
The whole like gravestones and stuff. So I think it looks really cool. So I think this was a good place to use this skeleton. So.
It scratches a different itch than the swamp one. I actually I'm thinking I like this one better.
Yeah. You go on.
No, it was pretty much done. I just like this one better.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of between. Thematically, I think this one might be my preference, but I really like. I don't know, something about the other one I just really like.
Yeah.
I kind of like
armor.
This one, to be honest.
You like this one?
I really like this one. It's I don't know, the armor set. I don't know. It's again. I feel like the whole the whole cosmetic pack is a little bit mismatch when it comes to certain things.
How like you have these like constructs and gargoyles, and then you have this like very smooth armor set.
Yeah, exactly. Like I would have thought maybe like some I don't know graveyard keeper, you know, something of that nature.
Something more than Ghost Knight.
Yeah, exactly. Because and also like yellow, I don't really.
It's not the thing. It's not the color I think of when I think like specters, ghosts, or But I could. But I'm not gonna. It looks good in how they used it. It's just like. I can definitely see it on the gargoyle, and that you can't. There's not really yellow on the graveyard golem. Their use of yellow isn't bad. I actually quite like it a lot.
I mean, yeah, it looks dope, but it could be a little bit more. I don't know, a little bit more edgy.
This is the question that we've got. This brings up the question that we bring up like a couple times before as well. It's like how, like on these cosmetics options, like how customizable will they end up being? Like how dye? Like we know there's dyes in the game, but the way they've explained the dye system, not only
Isn't
like
just
the
for
dye
individual things.
For you mean for like individual armor pieces, not the armor sets?
Yeah.
I imagine they probably do it like they've said that like some of them will be in, like certain spots like this, but like I imagine it'll probably end up a lot like how Guild Wars 2 has it for what the armor sets are. When you die, this like they'll have this little pattern thing for like primary, secondary colors, trim, and then so on.
Gotcha.
And then that'll change the entire set is how I imagine it'll probably go. But they have like for like the cosmetic armor sets, they have been kind of like I'll have to dig it up again, but like they have like the way they've explained it in the past has been a little like iffy on if we can actually like dye these how we want. The same goes for like the ships and stuff like that. But we like the armor is what we're talking about right now. Spectral Knight. Well, it's called the Visual of the Steel Bloom. I like it a lot. I like this one a fuck ton. I think really depending on how it turns out in the 3D render, it might be contender for my favorite cosmetic armor right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm interested to see how the cloth physics work with this one. It looks like you have the cloth over the shoulder.
I want to know if I can change the glow.
The color of the glow, or just the glow?
If I can change the armor to black and I can change the color of the glow to like red, that would be dope.
Yeah, it's honestly it's how dyeable it is.
Exactly.
Like if you can if you could change it, the glow to 100% has to be one of the customizable options. Also, like when the 3D render, it really depends on like how prominent they want that glow to be. And like Stackerson just said, it really does. It's going to be interesting to see how the cape physics kind of work with it, because they do have it to where like the cape slide in the cosmetic, the cape slides over the shoulder, and I believe that's the first time we've seen that in a cosmetic. Zachary, can you get more stuff to say about it?
I do not. Yeah, it's a good looking. Did you guys notice the skeleton hands, right?
What?
It has skeleton hands, yeah.
It does?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be using the same thing they did for the Stardust Hunger.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about the ship next? Because the ship is one of those things that I say it's out of place.
I think I get what you're saying, but I get based off that skeleton, I kind of think they're going for that look where it's. So I guess that's what you're saying, like about the mismatches. You have you have the golem and the gargoyle, but then the ship and the armor kind of go together.
Yeah, but
I don't know how I want to describe it, but
it has very like Fallen Empire, like Fallen Kingdom kind of vibes for like the like tattered skeletal, like a Fallen Kingdom. Let me
put it this way. The fact that the skeleton is supposed to be an undead, right?
Mm-hmm.
This whole cosmetic set doesn't scream like undead.
No, the pet and the arm, the pet and the mount. Go ahead.
It is all animated, so like reanimated, like a reanimated skeleton. Well, yeah, it's not undead. It is a reanimated skeleton. So reanimated golem, reanimated gargoyle.
It's not animated. Animated. You could say that about a lot of stuff, like a lot of the cosmetic. Like that's a. I don't agree with that argument. I'm more like I could see where BCG is coming from with like the pet and the mount are definitely not fitting with the rest of the cosmetics in terms of like kind of theme. No, we're not debating undead things. We can though, but the pet and the mount definitely feel like they would probably go better with like a Gravekeeper set, like how the like last Halloween, was it last Halloween or that Halloween before? They had the Raven pet and the fucking like more of a gravy kind of themed set. I think whereas this one is
it more Fallen Empire? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, more like Fallen Kingdom, undead knightly. Like it has the tattered cape, it has the tattered sails on the ship. You have the skeletal knight, specter knight kind of thing. Like that's kind of like the theme that the set kind of goes for me. But yeah, Then you have the lighthouse, which also is like could be its own thing. You could tie it into anything really. I don't know, like
I think it. I can kind of see what they're going for, and I think it kind of goes together. The one that for me maybe does not that I still like it, but might not go with it. I would think is maybe the golem, but I can kind of see it all going together.
The golem and like so if the building itself was so like the two things I think would tie this better together. The armor's fine by itself. Like the armor could honestly go with all of this.
The armor would need like holes or arrows sticking out of it.
I think that'd be badass.
That would be
great. I think that'd be a great addition to the armor. But I think what would actually tie this together is if instead of a lighthouse, it was a
wait, are we talking about are we talking about what are we?
We're talking about the ship. We're talking about the ship. But you brought us on the topic of the theme of the cosmetic altogether.
All right.
So we're on the ship. We can talk about the ship. And we can go back to the theme. I like the ship. I like it a lot. Tattered sails. This is shape and look of the ship and as a whole. I really fucking like. I think if it's the classification of ship that I think it is, which I think they actually just put in the description. I don't know. Not in the description of, hey, this is what ship this is, but they like no. But if this is the classification of ship I think it is, then I think this will probably be my main use of that ship.
It kind of just looks like a little sailboat. Is that what's going on here?
I think it's a little bit higher than yeah, I think it's a little bit bigger than a sailboat.
Yeah, it's a fun little ship. I like what's going on with the bird and like how the wings.
Stackerson, your sound just died.
I just stopped pressing the button. But yeah, I like what they were doing with the wings on the front of the ship. How there's like two things kind of cut in the water.
So the three classifications that we know of are personal vessel, which is supposed to be 1 to 3 crew, frigates, which is a size of 8, and a galleon, which is a size of 40. I would probably say this is. I'd probably say it's probably a personal vessel.
Personal?
I don't think so. I think it's a larger one.
You think it's a frigate?
I think
it could be like the lowest one, which that's frigate, right?
If you look at the other frigates that they've shown, then they have more sails. Like they seem kind of bigger and have more sails than this one.
Maybe, I mean, if you look at the professional like sailing boats, they hold what, like 10, 15 people. They don't have that many sails. They got big sails. This seems to be like one of those. We have to wait and see because it's all concept art, and as we know, concept art might change.
We've only had one ship make it from concept art to 3D render, and even that wasn't like done yet. Like, they're not showing off any of the ships, and they're not showing off ships. They're not showing off caravans, and they're not showing off any of the freehold cosmetics that has 3D renders yet, which is understandably so. But at the same time, it is like we'd like to see these as well because people want to see the 3D renders of what stuff they pay for. But
yeah, I kind of really want to see ships. They need to work on those mechanics.
Well, we've been seeing a lot of development on the ship mechanic side of things, and during like our interview last week, not last week, but like during our interview, Steven had talked about like naval stuff and like getting it online for how they're working on getting it online ready for Alpha 2.
Which is gonna happen in how many years?
I don't know. The way he talked, like people are being understandably like, hey, this is gonna be a while. So, like, it's great that people have that mindset, but also the way that Steven talks about it, I don't think it's as far away as people think it is. But I wouldn't put a date on it.
I would say somewhere towards the late summer, end of next year, at the earliest.
That's fair. That's probably what they should do. Not what they should do. I'm saying like that's Yeah, that's probably fair.
All right. You said before we started that you have words. Let me guess. The words were because of the freehold.
The words are because of the freehold. I also had some words yeah.
Let me guess. It's because of the surrounding.
It's because of the water surroundings or the rocks.
Yeah, it's because of the water.
Very much. So, like, it's a lighthouse. It's a lighthouse. They elevate it on some rocks, around some water, and make it look like a lighthouse. Give it some aesthetic value in the thing. It's gonna be interesting to see how it looks like in game.
By the way, why didn't we ask Steven that?
When we didn't get to like half the questions we were gonna ask. Like, we only got through like half the list.
That should have been like one of our top questions. How the fuck did we not ask that?
It's probably one of those ones that would be hard for them to answer. It's kind of something that they probably still have to figure out.
Right, yeah, we probably wouldn't get the answer we were looking for.
I mean, by the time we gotta get Steven on again, which is gonna be another 4 years. By the time we gotta get our answer one way or another.
I think we'll have our answer by then, ideally.
Yeah, Stacker's right. Ideally, we'd have our answer. And we can coax it out of them, and like either through live streams, AMAs, or through maybe like if they say like, hey, you could like this PI question you've asked, but you can talk about, which they do sometimes if we're asking for clarification on some things.
But yeah. So why don't you like this lighthouse?
I didn't say I didn't like it. I just have words about it, and it's the same words I've been saying for like the last couple of cosmetic themed live streams podcasts that we've been doing. Is that like it doesn't explain what the fuck it is? So I'm assuming it's probably gonna be a house. For one. Number two, it's a lighthouse. This isn't it's not like this next thing isn't like it's out of it's not been done before, but it's gonna be a house. Like, depending on where you place it, it could be an inland lighthouse. It's not gonna have debatable if it's gonna have the rocks or like the elevation. I'd imagine it would, but there's gonna be debatable. Like, it's not gonna it's not even debate. It's not gonna have the water surrounding it, so it's gonna be an inland lighthouse depending on like where you put it. Which there are some lighthouses that were built more closer, or like stuff had changed and it was but you're gonna have it really depends on like where you put this. It doesn't explain like really what the fuck it is. They use I don't know, I understand why in the concept art we have several stuff that makes the cosmetic look better, but at the same time, at the same if people aren't knowing that hey, this doesn't change when we've had this debate on the thing too, if it should if we should be able to change the freehold look, the tile space that it's on. BCG thinks that you should be able to. I think I was on the argument you shouldn't be able to. It would look weird. It would make the world look like patchwork.
Are we again with the whole don't change the ground because it's gonna make the freeholds look silly?
No, I'm not arguing that. I'm saying that without that feature, not everyone knows that that's not intended. Or that's a debate that we've had before as well. So it's not even not following the game fairly closely. It's just that if people are buying this thinking looking at it and thinking oh, that's what we get, then they're gonna be mistaken on a lot of these freehold things, because you don't get the dip, you don't get the water across the place, you don't get the swampy look. You don't on the freehold. You don't get a lot of the. What?
I mean, I'm still saying if they don't want to piss people off too much. Give people as many options as possible when it comes to customization. You're already gonna have silly looking freeholds just because of the way things are set up and what sort of buildings will be on those freeholds. Make the freeholds like something that is customizable depending on who owns it. Alright? Because if you have I don't know, if you're in the desert and your freehold skin is an Eskimo building, it's already looking silly. So letting people change the environment within the freehold, I don't know, it doesn't hurt. It actually would probably allow for a lot more cool things to happen within the world. And I don't think it's that hard to do it.
This is going back to the argument of like the ability to change your freehold tiles. Stackerson, you want to make a comment on this or the cosmetic itself?
Yeah, it's one of those things. It looks good. I have nothing else to say. Kind of just waiting for freeholds to come online so we can comment and give feedback.
This is true too. We'll probably have a lot more stuff to say about it, or a lot more arguments when we start seeing freeholds actually in game.
They should literally just copy WildStar,
Then you'd have to have instanced housing.
No. I'm not finished yet. They should just copy the WildStar housing system and put it into the open world.
It's not as easy as you make it sound.
It's 2021. We're sending people into space. We're about to go to Mars. I think it's pretty fucking easy. Just use some, what's it called? The mechanic they use in World of Warcraft. To merge servers in certain areas. What's it called? Dackerson, help me out here.
Host? Talking about layering or something?
Yeah, layering, something like that for that.
Why would you use layering for that?
I don't know.
I don't think people want layering.
No, I mean just for freeholds to make. I don't know. Just make it happen.
You're talking about making the illusion of instance housing.
You don't need instance housing.
No, I'm not saying we need instant housing. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying to use the WildStar housing system and put it into the open world. And then Yoni says, no, it's too hard. And then I'm saying, yeah, just use something from somewhere else and make it work. It's not rocket science.
The description you just gave would be it being its own
That's not what I meant. That's just because that's not what I meant.
I feel like we're going down a weird tangent.
Yeah, we are.
And people are just taking not impersonating.
I'm right, you're wrong. End of the conversation.
Okay, so
next.
Final thoughts on the cosmetics?
I mean, as always, cosmetic concepts look badass. Just gotta wait till they're in.
I like this set a lot. I like it a lot. I definitely already bought it. But I like the skeletal hands that you pointed out. I think we'll probably have more words about them. More words about this when they come out with a 3D render.
The 3D render, that's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
All right,
and when we start coming out with more enabled stuff and more freehold stuff, we'll probably go back over I think so. Another thing, we were talking about the theme and thematic stuff about the cosmetic set as well. I think another thing that kind of throws it off are the more ship themed stuff. The lighthouse is more water themed. Lighthouses are creepy. Can be creepy, and I can understand where they're going with it for a Halloween set. But the two, it's not like a Halloween water theme set. These one, the armor, the 4 of these are more land based, and then you have a ship and a lighthouse. I think if this would have been, the lighthouse could have been by itself, but actually, I think it would have been better if it was a tower, a tomb, or something more grave themed, or Fallen Kingdom, or more ruinous or grave themed.
Honestly,
and then
I feel
for
like
a ship, they would have been, if it would have been a caravan instead.
I feel like for a Halloween cosmetic set, they could have done a little bit more better.
I don't know. We've had so many Halloween cosmetics. I think this is nice. Nice for variety.
All right, next topic.
Live stream. There were, I guess, probably like 3 big things that we probably want to talk about the live stream. We could talk about the orc and dwarf renders first.
I'm so happy about that.
You're happy with the dwarf, with the orc renders?
I'm so happy with that. Where was that again in the live stream?
It was more towards the end. Yeah, they showed the 2 different orcs.
What skin color do you want, BCG?
Of course I'm going green. What sort of dumb question is that? Going green, baby. Going green.
He's a traditional orc player. He's not for this red skinned orc Japanese themed stuff.
No, but I have to say honestly, like this is I like the way the orcs look. They're really I know I've been bugging Steven for ages, and I was supposed to make a video about this, but I don't have the time, sadly, for it right at the moment. But I'm really, really super duper freaking happy in regards to orcs and the dwarf remakes.
I understand why they're doing it.
Because
I understand
fan service.
Well, no, not why they released orcs. I'm talking about races in general. So I understand why they're like, we talked about this. We asked this question to Steven like last time, why they were going with the traditional tried and true.
Because they don't have to reinvent the fucking wheel.
No, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. And like most RPGs go with orc, dwarf, so on and so forth. But even in like D&D and Pathfinder, I play more of the out there race. I play more of the bestial races anyway. Which is, I guess, why I'm picking Tolnar. Even with, like, stories and stuff that go for a more unique kind of look for things. You got, you have several different versions of orcs where you have, you have the Western style orcs, which are, like, the green skin, muscular, tall, like, pretty much just taller, bigger humanoids. And then you have kind of the Japanese version, which are
aren't those ogres?
The pig. They have ogres, which are kind of like what we pick our orcs as, but like their orcs are like the pig orc, like they're pigskin orcs, and like kind of fit that.
Wait,
but like also have that.
I always thought that in Eastern culture there are no orcs; they're just ogres.
I'm talking about like anime and stuff, not inside.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know so much about that subject. I am so well versed in the fields of anime and shit that makes no sense. I will continue to listen because I don't think I can add anything to this.
No, I'm not. It's not even to talk about orcs. I'm just talking and I would say my favorite, like in modern fantasy kind of thing, my favorite rendition of elves is from Dragon Prince, where you have elves and they're kind of like packed together, but like inside they all have their different 4 different kind of cultures you have, and these are based on the 4 different elements of 4 or 5 different elements of.
Dragon Prince is an anime.
It's not. It's an animation, but it's a American.
It's a Western,
anime.
Exactly. That's because
it's a Western anime. I
saw parts of that and actually enjoyed it, so that might have been it.
I like the elves from Dragon Prince. They're horned. They have 3 fingers.
I didn't like the dragons in that show.
You didn't like the dragons, but how do you feel about the elves?
Elves are trash, no matter what show it is.
You don't like elves, period. Okay.
No, but no.
I haven't watched it, but I was looking in. Yeah, I kind of like that they added a little bit more characteristic to the elves to make them a little different than pointy-eared humans.
Right, can we just talk about the dwarf thing now?
People like it. I mean,
yeah, of course, because now they look like freaking dwarves.
They look like dwarves now. They don't look like they don't look like people called the last ones gnomes.
I called them little boys.
Or hobbits. They were called gnomes and hobbits, and like everything other than dwarves last time. People didn't have a dwarven feel for them last time. I like these. I like the look for them. It'll be interesting. Like, and like also like Steven said this too. It's like for the orcs and the dwarves and stuff like that. That'll be like sliders and stuff like that within the races. Like he's also explained like you're gonna be able to make like nice looking orcs and like more traditional orcs. Like, I'm interested to see like when we finally get our hands on the character customization. I'm interested to see like where the like how in depth they decided to go with it. They say they're gonna keep it within like reason for the race, but like I still can picture in my head that like even with like those stipulations, that people will be able to surprise the devs on like how far out they're going to be able to go.
Here's the thing: Steven said he wants the character creator to be on the same level as Black Desert Online.
Yeah, and that's
Black Desert Online.
A lot of shit.
But Black Desert Online character creator is mostly laid out for mostly human-looking like characters. I think like the most non-human looking in Black Desert Online to this point is the giant. Right?
But they're just taller humans.
I know, like, so but now you have like orcs, dwarves, you got Tulnar, so I'd be surprised if we even get to that level. But if we do, I'm gonna have a lot of fun.
If they were just orcs, like the Tulnar one's the one that's interesting to look like. But like if you're just talking about the orcs and the dwarves and stuff like that, honestly, and this is why I kind of have why I keep asking questions like a lot of stuff is like just like they're just different. Like and why I want more variety with it. It's just they're just different sized humans.
I know they are, but listen, I just want a character creator that is so good that I can recreate Gul'dan from World of Warcraft. That's the only thing I want. Have we some updates on the Ranger class? We actually do within the next couple months. Raise. We're gonna get a lot of updates.
Class info. I'm not gonna say. We're not gonna say it's Ranger specific.
No, it's not Ranger specific, but we did get a lot of. Steven said
it will probably be everything, but maybe Summoner and Bard.
Yeah. Steven said within the next couple months we're gonna get a lot of updates on the Ranger. And now on different classes. Classes, not Ranger. Sorry, my bad. Still, the character creator is gonna be interesting.
I really want to get my hands on. It's gonna be a while till they're done with it and like have it where they want it. But I'm really interested.
Steven's saying it's gonna be on the same level as Black Desert Online. For me, those were like fighting words. It's like, hey, listen, we know Black Desert Online is widely known for its great, character creator. We're gonna be on the same level. Like for me, those were always like fighting words. Like, hey, listen up,
Those are fighting words, and like if you have those words, like I don't see how you're gonna say you're like even like within the thought process of like how out there the like communities get with like and with MMOs in general, like developers will say like it takes this long. It's gonna take this long to level, and then people like blow that statistic out of the water, and then just like people do stuff that developers don't even fucking think of. And
I know.
If you give a creative person or like people the character creator, I think if it's as detailed as they make it described as, you're gonna see things that they say they don't like. You're gonna see lolly dwarves. You're gonna like and
oh yeah, definitely, most definitely.
The way he described the cat girl question last time, you're not gonna get anime cat girls, but you are gonna get furry cat girls.
Oh yeah, but they're definitely gonna get banned. Like no doubt about it.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. Because I'm gonna report them. We're gonna jump in the fucking server, and they're gonna hunt them all down and report them for breaking fucking TOS. This is the day where the crusade began.
I'm wondering if we'll see some of those crusade servers, especially early on.
They'll see a lot of RP
Tolnar
servers.
Oh yeah.
Well, I wonder. There's a lot of people talk shit about Tolnar, and I wonder if, like, when the Tolnar can actually bite back, if people are gonna continue to talk.
I would be so honestly, the server that has a freaking race war is the server I'm gonna join.
It's gonna be the best. It's gonna be a great server. I like that. So like, if you have you're gonna have the competitive PvP server, which is gonna be great for great. I'm not like what's we're probably gonna going, but like I am interested to see like the stuff that you see from the RP server. If they go hardcore into the PvP, they embrace the PvP aspect and actually go for like the whole race war thing.
Race wars. That would be so cool. I don't know why I would find that so interesting. Like literally, that would make this game already so much more of an MMORPG than anything else, because people actually play the role where they hate other fucking class A races. That would be so much dedication. I would freaking love that. That would be so cool. Like literally, if there's a server where it's like where you have guilds and nodes, just I don't know, full of Tulnars or dwarves or elves, and they kill everything else on site that is not their race.
They'll probably have like some nodes where like this is an uneasy alliance and like a free trade city and stuff like that. But you'll have the race wars out in the world as well.
Like I would literally know that for me that is like storytelling. That is like people generated content. That is for me at this point in my life. For me, that would be.
That's my favorite thing about EVE Online is that like the battles in EVE Online have spawned like published stories.
I know. I've seen those.
And I want to see that. I want to be a part of that for Ashes of Creation.
I didn't play L2, but I believe that's probably how L2 was. I know that's how it was in Darkfall. Yeah. I mean, you don't necessarily have it around stuff like Race Wars, but I mean, the conflicts that happen in the world have history. Yeah. It's not just like, I attack you because you are red. It's like, oh, we don't like this guy because this guy does this stuff, and they were teaming up with these guys, and we also don't like those guys. And a lot of these games like that have like these big histories, and yeah, that's something I'm looking forward to seeing with Ashes too.
I want Race Wars now, and not because of any connection to real life, just because I would find it so funny if you finally, for the first time in fucking ever, have an MMORPG where elf players actually constantly fight dwarves.
We kind of had that in Darkfall. There was a dwarf clan named Battle Saints, and I forgot the elf clan, but they would duke it out randomly, like they would attack each other's holdings. It was always funny attacking the dwarves because you'd see we called it the dwarf storm. Yeah. You just have a whole bunch of dwarves run over the walls and start charging you.
We used to have a guild in World of Warcraft Classic. It was like an RP guild, and all they had were like night elves, and they always just hang out in their main city and do the RP thing, and they got really toxic every time like a different alliance race like came by, yada yada yada. And they, like really toxic, like really like insulting. They even got a couple members banned. And at some point you just had a bunch of horde guilds just constantly raid that same city just to kill them. Race wars, good times.
Your stream is showing the 3D. Well, it was showing the 3D renders of the mounts and stuff that was on the live stream. We want to talk about that. We want to talk about that stuff.
I just want to say one thing on the races, though. Seeing the changes gives me a lot of hope for the Tolnar. So, like, with orcs looking like that and what they did to the dwarves, like Tolnar. I don't want to like count my eggs or whatever the saying is, but yeah,
count my chickens before they hatch.
Exactly, but it's like this reconfirms and gives me a lot of hope that I'll really like what they do with the Tolnar.
I've been bugging Steven for more orc graphics and concept art for I don't know how many years, like 3 years now, and I have to say, like, I am not disappointed at all.
We should be seeing a lot more, because like when they were developing the humans and the elves, we were seeing like just nothing but that stuff. We were probably gonna be seeing a lot more, and they've been adding a lot of orc cosmetics to the game. You're probably gonna be seeing a lot more. And like when they brought up dwarves, the Dunir dwarf stuff, we were seeing nothing but Dunir dwarf 3D renders and cosmetics and stuff like that. You're probably gonna be seeing, in like the next couple of months, you're probably gonna be seeing a lot of Renkai orc stuff.
Yeah.
Followed by the rest of the races.
In regards to the mount, I love the 3D render.
Of which one we talking about? We talking about the
geode,
the geode,
the sentinel,
the one that people call the hentai mount.
I'm actually hearing a lot of people compare it to like the Matrix 3 robots.
Yep, the sentinels.
Yeah, the sentinels from Matrix.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah.
Well, it looks especially like it when it runs.
Yeah,
it has like the twirling tentacles behind it, which is kind of what the Sentinels do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the animation of him riding it.
Oh yeah, that is cool.
That's really.
I don't think that's how it's supposed to be. When he's riding it, when he's running and stuff like that.
When he's walking, I don't think they have the right animation for it. But when he's running, it looks like it's lining up perfectly. So. Yeah, I assume they might want a walking animation, or just leave it as is. It's not that big a deal. How many people are actually going to walk RP on their mount?
Yeah.
Especially RP walk on a geode.
Yeah, when people use mounts, they're using it to sprint around and stuff like that. Yeah, you're 100% right. So you're going to be seeing that Matrix run most of the time. You might see the walk and stuff inside cities when people are showing off their mounts and stuff like that.
This is the new cloth physics, right?
Yeah.
Is this one of the ones with the new cloth? Because it's looking really good, and that has the cloth in front of the arm.
Not in the same. It does, and I do like the new cloth physics, but not in the same way as what we're seeing in the new cosmetic set for this month. But I get what you're saying. The new mount, the other mount, the decayed horse, has a lot of detail to it. I'm loving the fuck out of it.
I love that I bought that. I wonder how silly a big orc is gonna look on that.
One thing that you don't get real like they try to show it off as much as possible, and you do see it, but like when you're actually in game and you can scroll in like all the way, and like just the amount of detail to all the textures and cosmetics, like everything in game, like the world looks beautiful, and there's a lot of detail to all the stuff that they work on.
Sorry, so I loaded up the video myself, and the cloth is reacting to his hand. So I wonder how that looks like when you put a weapon on. I assume that's not like a pre-baked animation or whatever. It's actually like a live reaction.
We'll probably see more of it in the coming months. We'll probably see more of the cloth stuff in the coming months because they'll be showing off. But they'll be showing off more gameplay, and they'll be showing off their characters moving around more. You got anything to say about the horse?
It's a smexy dead horse.
I wish it would be green instead of red.
Gosh, you're just not liking their color choices, are you?
No. I can see where he wants more zombie kind of like.
I want more zombie undead sort of spell magic. I know.
Yeah, this is the entire set as a whole was more like Eldritch, which is also kind of a green thing too. So but
is his chest like pulsing?
Yeah, his chest is pulsing. His organs are pulsing. Like there's a lot of detail in the organs, it's pulsating. There's a lot of detail to the mount. Like I was saying, there's a lot of details of the game. It's an undead horse. They went with a edgy theme for that cosmetic set, so I understand why they went with like black and red, the edgiest colors, the edgiest color scheme, for the edgiest set they've had so far. But I can totally 100% see where BCG is coming from for wanting green, because like number one, the set itself was kind of like Cthulhu-y Eldritch Horror themed with the descriptions and some of the stuff, and it was also undead themed, which also when you think undead you think like green.
Yeah, I always forget about the cape that came with this set. I'm looking forward to that. And the boat.
The boat. I can tell you it's one of my fucking galleon. Like, it's already my galleon. It's like there's nothing else that. It's a skeletal boat in the shape of a shark. I love sharks.
The only other one I really liked for the big boats was the. There's another one that has like a similar shape, but it doesn't look called. Yeah, I think it's called the Angler.
The one that looks like an anglerfish.
Yes.
I like that one too. It's one. I think it's like the first from the first Halloween set.
The Grimsail?
No. It's not. It's from the second Halloween set, not the first one. The first one was something completely different. But yeah, it was from the second Halloween set.
Do you guys slowly get the feeling that by the time the game comes out, we're just gonna have way too many cosmetics?
I think some of us will. Yeah, I think we're already at that point.
Yeah, there's an argument for that. Yeah,
we were probably at that point a year or two ago for some of us.
So, all right.
I mean, like you guys buy way more freaking cosmetics than I did, and I already with the amount that I have, I'm already like. I didn't even have that many cosmetics in fucking World of Warcraft or Guild Wars 2, and I barely use any of them.
Yeah, that's completely understandable. You're probably not gonna like people switch armor cosmetics fairly frequently because they get bored of the look and they'll switch off with looks, like trying to mix their set and they want to look cool. Like people swap between those sets fairly frequently. The accessory sets, kind of the same thing depending on what kind of look you're going for. I can totally see that you're like buying a bunch of those. Understandable. Pets and mounts. Maybe I could see doing the same thing. Less so, really. You're probably gonna find like the pets and stuff. Like I have the mounts and stuff that I'm gonna be using. Unless I find something better in game, something I like more in game. For ships and freeholds though, and like the caravans, I think you're 100% gonna be finding the one that you like and then sticking with that for long periods of time, not switching those out as frequently. So it doesn't make sense for you to just like buy tons of like it might be too many for those. Like if you look at the cosmetics section of the wiki that shows like all the cosmetics they've had so far, really and truthfully, it feels like there's a lot more than what there is. Like if you look at the set, like the sets. Like the freehold building sets, you feel like there's a lot more than what's there. So it doesn't like. I am interested to see because like we're also getting and like I brought this up for like the cosmetics as well before. It's like they say that the cosmetics will look either equally or better than what we're being shown as cosmetics for like store-bought cosmetics, and it'll be interesting to see if that holds true. We've seen in-game cosmetics like the leveling scale, like they've shown like this is the kind of leveling process of this cosmetic, but none of the cosmetics they've shown that are in-game achievable cosmetics have been as out there as some of the as many of the cosmetics that we've gotten for.
I don't think they're gonna show us all the cosmetics that we can get in game.
No, I'm not showing like all the cosmetics that you can get in game, but like showing off Like the thing that would probably solve this, like, is you show off like one really badass out there cosmetic that is not a store-bought cosmetic, but a achievable, like just one cosmetic that's not store-bought but in-game achievable. That's not a progression set that looks kind of apparently like I don't want to say standard. That's not the right word either. But like are like it's right on top of my tongue. Immersion friendly, like the ones that are. It's not. This makes sense that you be wearing this for this time period, like armor set. More of an either a big bulky knight set, like full plate one, or a something that's like more out there, like the Face of Sorrow and stuff like that. Like show in-game achievable sets that are really badass looking.
I mean,
just one set.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna show it to us, but even like for most MMORPGs that I'm aware of, they don't show this stuff till like release.
You won't. Yeah, you usually don't see that stuff till like beta or to release, to where you're seeing like actual in-game stuff.
So I wouldn't rush
and it's
that.
Debatable. No, I'm just saying show one, and that would alleviate people's things of like.
Remember how Steven explained to us that most cosmetics are still gonna get the second or third do-over?
Yeah, to get them to look better. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna see that stuff sooner or later. I'm just like, we're not even in Alpha 2, so I wouldn't even rush that. I would wait with asking for that stuff till like in beta.
I'm not saying I want to see a bunch of it either. I'm saying that there's the argument, that the same argument you are putting out forward of there being too many cosmetics. There's the same argument of is the quality going to be equal or better?
I mean, we know it's going to be better.
We haven't seen that. Like they've said that.
Didn't we see one cosmetic that you can get in game?
Not for
that plate armor set? No, we've seen that plate armor set that looked so badass.
I don't know which one you're talking about.
I think he's talking about the Shredder set.
Yeah, the Shredder set.
Oh, yeah, the Shredder set is badass. Yeah, you're right. So they did show one. You're right. Shredder set's pretty badass.
Because I was like, what is he talking about? Doesn't he remember?
Shredder. I completely forgot about the Shredder set. Shredder set. You're 100% right. They did show off one set. So you're right. Quality equal, if not better, for in-game achievable stuff. Shredder set completely blocked out my mind. Like I completely forgot about the Shredder set. You're right. So the argument about like, are there too many cosmetics? There's the argument of also like if they should even like be selling cosmetics without the game release. There's people that don't think it's a bad practice to do in any MMO.
I mean, yeah, I get why I get that, because they can say, yeah, it's immersion breaking or whatever. I can see that, but
it's not even that. It's just like
some people think it's kind of predatory, or like I don't know if I want to call it predatory, but it's a habit with a lot of games where they try to sell, like Star Citizen sells all these ships.
Yeah, but those are things that have in-game functions. Cosmetics don't. They're fucking.
Well, it's more they're trying to sell something for a game that hasn't
that's the
launched yet and might not launch.
Yeah,
like there's a risk with it.
Yeah, but you.
And some people like to control what other people do.
Yeah, I don't want to talk because I'm gonna start insulting people left and right if we get into that.
No, it's a fair argument of like practices in MMOs of like selling cosmetics before there's even a game, and then there's also the argument of like
you get first up it's fucking cosmetics, right? It is cosmetics. Again, it is cosmetics. You get a pack with in-game currency. You get access to testing phases, and it's clearly stated that this is not This is, to support the game and to help testing. So if you buy something,
it's more that there's people who are taking the money and running.
No, so, it's not even. Well, yeah,
that is kind of it. There's people who don't know who you can trust.
I know. I would agree with that if the game would have not already been completely funded. So if people would do their fucking research and actually look into
there's games that have been completely funded that have left. There's
which
games on
one?
Kickstarter.
Tell me which one has been completely funded by one individual and not by a fucking publisher that tried to save face.
Most Kickstarter, like a lot of Kickstarter MMOs, like will they'll reach their goals in the game and not in the game, in the Kickstarter. And then they'll say like, "Oh, we didn't have enough money to finish the game. We had to go for."
But you see, there's a difference. Steven completely funded the core game. Kickstarter was just the added benefits, and Steven doesn't need anybody's money.
Anyone can that's. I'm not arguing against Steven. That's a no. I'm 100% on his side on that.
I'm arguing.
But anyone can make that. Anyone can make that fucking argument. Like that's not a strong.
Yes, it is a strong fucking argument. I'm arguing that the point that people say that Steven offering up. Cosmetic packs and all that stuff, is predatory fucking practices, is fucking stupid. If you have a fucking brain, you know how to fucking read on the internet, and you can research all of this, that the game is completely funded, right? That this is a first-time studio. And at this point, if you still fucking waste your money and buy something, even though you cannot afford it, then you should not be on the fucking internet. I'm getting kind of sick and tired of people saying that if you sell fucking cosmetics, all right, and in-game time, sub-time, and access to testing phases, all right, even though it's clearly stated this is testing, yada, 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 and all the other shit that has been stated for the past 4 years is still predatory practices, then I please ask you, delete your fucking, I don't know, anything on your computer.
I agree with you on the testing time. I agree with you on the testing times. Selling cosmetics is a debatable, like, I'm not faulting Newell, I'm not faulting them for doing it. But it is a debatable.
Star Citizen. That is predatory. That is predatory, or not even predatory, but that is something else, because you buy big ass ships and they have big ass guns or whatever, and so on.
But that's in-game stuff.
We're talking about fucking cosmetics, and people say
that's also an argument of like if games selling cosmetics, pure, like, because a lot of old school WoW players, like old school WoW players, don't like the like people that would prefer like in-game achievable stuff. Don't like the idea of buying cosmetics.
No, you see, I don't think that it's old school WoW players, because old school WoW players like myself, we have a brain and we know how to fucking use it, because we understand that if you want to make an MMORPG in this day and age, you need to have a steady income, right? So Steven is giving everybody the game pretty much for free. All you have to do is pay once, $12.99. You're getting a fucking MMORPG that is not fucking pay to win for $12.99, right? And then you bitch about cosmetics, yada yada yada. I mean, hey, listen, we can fucking charge people $60 fucking bucks for the game, right? Or we're gonna allow way more people a chance to take a look at the game and decide for themselves. Because people are already bitching, oh, $12.99 is way too much. Sorry, today I'm in the mood of just saying the people that say this sort of stuff, especially in Reddit, they're idiots.
I think this is a argument we're probably not going to agree on.
Probably not.
I can agree with some of the stuff you're arguing about, but at the same time, like, I had an argument two podcasts ago about not putting the descriptor for the cosmetics as predatory, like shitty financial decision, shitty financially for.
I just don't like the phrasing that selling fucking cosmetics is predatory tactics. If you look up what predatory tactics are and you look at examples and you compare them to what Steven is doing, if you then still say that this is predatory tactics and swear words, something.
It's not even just. It's not even just Ashes as a whole. It's like any MMO that sell. Like, the argument is for like any MMO that sells cosmetics before there's a game. You're selling something.
I mean, again, we can from a first time studio that never released a game before. I'm not counting APOC now, right? That is trying to establish itself in a genre that is already dying. It is a smart move to only charge $12.99.
It's understandable to do it. Like, it's understandable why they need to do it. For why they would want to do it. But the argument, but also for like to counter argument for that is that it's even because it's the first time studio that's like supposedly like we're not seeing any of the financial stuff, but like only funded by Steven and the Kickstarter. It's even more of a risk to buy into. That's both an argument for that, but also an argument of like, why are you spending money on cosmetics if that's an argument? Like, if that's not one of your concerns, why are you buying cosmetics?
Yeah, I mean, like if you just buy into a game without reading up on it when it's still in development, if you're just spending your money without thinking for yourself or like reading up on whatever, and you cannot make an educated decision for yourself, then I honestly I don't then there's no helping you. I mean, I had people look into Ashes and they said, okay, this is a first time studio, the guy used to play a lot of ArcAge, I'm not gonna spend money on this. Right? Yeah. And then there's other people that did their research. They rewatched interviews all the way back to 2017, and they then made the educated decision, hey, this is actually, worth, a couple bucks, and I actually want to support this, and I want to, help testing. And then you have other people that just blindly come in, oh, I saw the interview with Asmongold, here's $500. Like, okay, cool. Don't bitch afterwards. And then there are people that do the same thing, but instead of spending money, they just bitch.
Just to get this ball moving, because we are at our hour mark.
I want to get it moving. I want it to explode.
But there is like one more thing we need to talk about from the live stream, and people would be very upset with us if we didn't talk about it.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, anyone that actually watches the show. The map.
Nobody. I mean, the map is... we have it running in the background. I mean, the map is proof of concept, and every time we see proof of concept, I'm pretty fucking happy.
I'm just saying, like, if we didn't bring it up and talk about it, people will probably like it's one of the big things that people.
It's probably the biggest thing we should have talked about because it's like a core feature of the game.
Yeah.
It's kind of still the fact we started on cosmetics, but ending with everyone's excited.
We went in reverse order. I thought honestly, I thought we were going to be starting off with the live stream and ending with cosmetics. I don't know why BCG wanted to start off with cosmetics.
I don't know. I wanted to switch things up. We're getting too predictable. So I mean,
but
we have never talked about cosmetics or spent the whole live stream talking about cosmetics.
Which what we did this time, and now we're at the ass into the live stream and we're talking about probably the biggest thing that wasn't cosmetics that we could have talked about. The map.
I think it's the biggest thing you can talk about. It's like this map shows that they know how nodes will interact with each other.
I mean,
just listening to people that reading the comments in the Twitch stream when they showed it off, and listening to people talk about that in this Discord. Not only was this cool, but also a lot of people it feels like this was their first time seeing the map, and I'm like, how much do you look up?
What do you mean?
They said that the node placement on the node placement on the map is not indicative of the node placement in game. It's just there for
just so they have a place to.
Yeah, just to have the map running.
Like to know at this point. And I wrote Steven a message, I haven't heard back from him yet, is in regards to, this is like a map, but if you scroll, is there a deeper level to this map for the zones? For example, if in one zone, you do something and then, it triggers something, but then if you do something else, it triggers something else. That's what I want to know.
No, so this just shows the growth of the nodes, and the node placement isn't indicative of where the node placement's going to be on the map in the actual game. It's just there to show off proof of concept and show off the algorithm. Go ahead.
This is supposed to be basically the ZOIs, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like, show the growth. Show the growth of the ZOIs. Yes. Yeah. It's supposed to show the growth of the ZOIs. It's the same map we got before. I don't think there's any deeper I can't think of any like deeper level to what you were talking about, BCG. It's just supposed to show off the growth of the nodes.
Gotcha. Well, it's proof of concept. We just have to now see it like live in game.
Even after Steven had said like don't dig deep into it, like there's nothing that they can conceivably like glean from it, and that the node placement wasn't accurate to what like where the node placement's going to be in the actual game. People still, I know people, tons of people, and I've seen it in Discord. I've participated in it, that did just break down everything about this like one clip I'm seeing, like then like everything about it. Some of it was like you're taking a stretch there. Some of it I could like, yeah, just like the node growth is a big thing. Like seeing it actually like in motion, like seeing proof of concept, seeing it in motion, instead of just well, you're still theory crafting and speculating about a bunch of stuff, but finally like seeing the growth and how it works is a big thing.
True. Because we've been asking for something like this for like how long?
We've been asking for something like this for a while, and like map stuff. When we got the map stuff, that was huge. I'm not gonna put this on the same level as getting the map, and the theory crafting thing, breaking down the map. People were speculating like where all this, like getting like seeing the spawn points and the first nodes on the map, and like speculating like where the races are gonna be, where people want to be settling on, where people want to be settling on the map. There was tons of breakdown on the map when we got it. I'm not gonna put this on the same level. It's still fairly big and like very exciting to get. Just to see like how the node growth is going to work. But we have gotten several fairly accurate, like looking back at them, fairly accurate other representations of how it's going to work.
Yeah.
Similar but not the same as what we see here working.
I mean, it's really nice, like, even after all these years, to finally see the proof of concept. So I'm not gonna actually dig any deeper into this. I'm just, happy to see it. Now I just want to see it how it acts when players actually get it.
The point of this live stream, the point of this podcast is the theory craft.
I know, but guess what? We're over time. We're way over now by 15 minutes. I'm gonna call it quits for today because I have to go to bed.
Yeah.
It's late over here. It's late across the pond.
Late across the pond.
But everybody, thanks for watching. We will be back in 2 weeks. So everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you on the Ash of Creation Community Discord. On the 24th. We will be back on the 24th. See you guys later. Bye.
We could totally do a live stream on Halloween.
I mean, we could, but I don't know if I'm going to be in a hotel at my brother's or back in my apartment. So we have to wait and see.
This is true.
All right, later.
Boy.